Hey everybody, welcome back to the Budget Bladesman. So today we're going to go out of our typical budget. We're going to go a little bit north of $100, but less than $150. I know that's not typically what we think of as budget, but this is something I had been wanting for a while, and so I kind of saved some money. Didn't go get some other knives, and got one instead. So I'm kind of excited to do this. So let's go over and see what we got here. So obviously you can see it's a Benchmade, and this is the Mini Bugout. All right, so let's go over the specs. So we have an overall length of 6.5 inches, a blade length of 2.82 inches. It's coming in at super thin, 0.09 on the thickness. We're looking at also a very lightweight knife at 1.5 ounces, so very light, very thin. This is a drop point style blade, and this is a CPM 30S, guys, I'm just messing this all up, aren't I? A CPM S30V steel, so it's a really good steel. It is tip up, so let's close this up. You see, tip up. It is right hand, left hand carry. You can see it has thumb studs for our opening. And we have, of course, the axis lock for a Benchmade, which is typical. And these handles are a little bit different. These are what they call the CF Elite handles. So this is basically their normal handles, but what makes them a little bit different, and the reason they're called CF Elite, is the CF is carbon fiber. So what they do is impregnate the normal Griptilian handles. I believe it's normally the Griptilian handles, and they impregnate it with carbon fiber to make it sturdier. I know if you've seen some of the other, let's see, there we go. You've seen some of the other Benchmade bug out videos, you can tell that people have been able to really flex down. I'm squeezing pretty hard. You can see there's really no give on these handles. So they're pretty sturdy, pretty stout for being pretty thin. All right, so let's go over our comparison knives. So first up, we have the K-Bar Dozer as usual. And you can see this is our typical, what you think of EDC knife. And you can see that the Mini Bug out here is pretty smaller still. We go end to end here, all the way to the end. You can see about half an inch overall length shorter. We go blade length to blade length. It's about, about an eighth of an inch shorter on the sharpened blade length. All right, so let's pull out our other one, the Gripper flat iron, and you can see obviously this is significantly bigger than the Benchmade here. So we go end to end, all the way to the end there, significantly bigger than that. And then we go sharpened blade length, see significantly bigger there. If we go unsharpened blade length, of course, much, much bigger than that. All right, so let's close these up. We're actually going to pull out a couple other comparison knives. First, we're going to pull out the previously reviewed Benchmade Mini Griptilian, and you can see that they're pretty close, but it looks like the Mini Grip is just a tad bit bigger in overall profile, but the blade length is pretty close. Of course, this is a different version of it, but even the standard Benchmade, Mini Grip, I should say, they're both Benchmades, obviously. The Mini Grip here, even the standard blade, the drop point would be 3 inches. They're all 3 inches in the Mini Grip, and this is just under that at 2.8. And overall profile, you can see it's a little bit bigger as well. And then also the recently reviewed Bear Ops. And again, this is probably closer in size because the Bear Ops has a 2.75 inch blade, I believe. Yes, 2.75 inch blade. So they're a little bit closer in size. If we go blade length to blade length on that one, you can see pretty close, pretty dead on. Of course, that Tanto gives a little bit more of a cutting edge. So you can see there, all three of these, pretty close in size. But of what the real difference is going to be is the thickness. You can see that the Mini Bugout is significantly thinner than the Mini Grip. And then if we compare the Bear Ops, again, significantly thinner than the Bear Ops as well. All right, so let's close these up. We'll get these out of the way. And then we'll get this closed as well, and we'll see how these ride in the short / khakis. All right, so let's get these in. And you can see it's supposed to be pretty deep carry clip, and you do have your lanyard hole if that's what you're into. So we'll go ahead and put those in. You'll see it gets in there pretty well, and for the most part that disappears in the pocket. You really don't see much, if any, of the actual knife. And for it being a narrow profile, you get your hand in there and there's plenty of room in that pocket, and since it's so light. I will say that when carrying this knife, I have to double check myself because it is so light. I've had either people that I've let handle it comment on that it's so light that they might lose it, and I tell them I have to actually make sure I have it on me because it is light and it's an expensive knife. So it really sucked to lose this knife if you weren't paying attention. Again, you can see this is the knife, this is the pointed knife here, plenty of room, whole hand in there and then some. So of course your front pocket wallet, or your phone, multi-tool. I mean, you could even get a multi-tool and a flashlight in there if that's what you wanted to do. There's plenty of room in this guy. I mean, that knife takes up almost no room because it's such a narrow profile. You can see, let's pull that out, get these out of the way. And I did not go over price. So like I said, this is definitely out of our normal range of our price range. Like I said, this is something I definitely saved up and treated myself to. I don't normally spend this type of money on knives, and even normally I don't pay full retail, but this one I actually did. I paid $135 for this. I believe this one I got at Blade HQ. They do have a couple different versions of this. They have a one that has their typical Grivery handle, not the CF Elite, which has orange, and then it has a satin finish blade, and then they also have what they call the Stormtrooper version, which is a white handle, again with just the Grivery, but a coated blade like this as well. Those are going to be a little bit cheaper. I believe the cheapest one is the orange one. I think that comes in about $120. So you're still going to pay for them. And, I mean, it is premium materials. But that's up to you. Like I said in a previous video, if you wanted something just to kind of get the feel of a Benchmade, you could always go with the Bear Ops. Like I said, I did pay a little bit more for this knife. It is out of the typical realm. Still not going to baby it. I mean, it is a knife, and that's, the intended use is to use it. So I've already put it to some work tasks at work, opening boxes and stuff like that, and it's held up just fine. So even though it is a little bit on the pricey side for what I normally pay, it's still going to put it to work. So thank you guys for coming by checking this out, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.